This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Sean Ulmer. Sean's the director of the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art, but he is here wearing his hat as a member of the board of ICCA, the Iowa Cultural Corridor Alliance. Board members come in and talk about different things that they are interested in seeing up and down the corridor, and perhaps giving a little plug about summer activities.
Maybe just a little one.
Maybe just a little. There isn't. There are only a few advantages to coming in, and that's one.
We
of
get
them.
to see you.
Well, there is that. So what? And and our model for this is literally you guys just go on the website just like anybody else and start picking out stuff that is of interest. So I always find that fascinating because everybody does a little bit of a different thing. So as you peruse culturalcorridor.org, what lights you up?
Well, I was inspired by this week's heat, and I said, "Gosh, let's get inside and see some wonderful arts and culture things." And we should also mention it's
Museum Week.
It is
in
Museum
Cedar
Week
Rapids,
as well.
So there are some special things going on around the area museums.
Right. Many of them have already occurred, but there are still some things yet this weekend. So it's a great opportunity to capitalize upon that. But there's a wide range of things that are going on now, from the performing arts to the visual arts, that people can do both indoors and outdoors if you're hardy in the heat. But I think we're going to get a break here, so there'll be some wonderful outdoor activities that you can take part in over this weekend as well. But first up is family movie night at the North Liberty Community Library. They are showing Trolls, and you may have seen it before, but not probably as a community. 6 p.m. at the library. It's free. It's an hour and a half. Bring your own pillows. Bring your own blankets. You can bring your own food and covered beverages, but they'll have popcorn there for you. So if you're looking for something to do tonight to beat the heat, there's one option right there in North Liberty. And they are really, the library has a really, really interesting array of programming, especially over the summer. So check them out. And you can find a lot of their activities on the Iowa Cultural Corridor Alliance website. Also, starting tonight and into tomorrow, the African American Museum of Iowa, who is one of the participating institutions in the Museum Week program that you just mentioned, has their events. They've been focusing everything on Juneteenth, and that's this weekend. So it starts with a free admission to the galleries from 4 to 6:30 tonight, and then they are going to screen the Netflix documentary 13th. And it investigates criminalization of the African American community and the U.S. prison boom. There'll be a talk back afterwards with Carl Cassell, who will kind of host the discussion that happens afterwards. Viewer discretion is advised, though, for anybody who's under 15. But both the admission and the screening are free. And also free is on Saturday. They're holding their big Juneteenth community celebration at Viola Gibson Park from 11 to 4. And there's all kinds of activities. There's live music, there's balloon art, there's kinds of activities for kids, for adults. It's a very family-friendly event and a celebration, part of their annual Juneteenth celebration. And they are, as I said, one of the 7 museums that are participating in Museum Week this week. A first time that Cedar Rapids has sort of all kind of gotten together and done a Museum Week in conjunction with the Iowa Museum Week, which is at the same time. So there are lots of activities at various museums. You can check it out either on ICCA's website, or there's also CedarRapidsMuseumWeek.com. That website's hosted by Go Cedar Rapids, not surprisingly. So, there's plenty of things going on there, including a wonderful new exhibition. It's open during the week, not on weekends, at the Iowa Masonic Library and Museum.
I was reading about
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have been in the Masonic Library.
So cool.
And it's just, it's amazing the history that lives there.
Well, this week they kicked off a brand new exhibition celebrating the 300th anniversary of Freemasonry, which was founded in England. And so they brought out many of their treasures. The Iowa Masonic Library is one of the largest collections of Masonic libraries in the country. And so they brought out a number of their treasures to celebrate this 300th anniversary. It's kind of amazing when you think Freemasonry traces its origins to 1717. It's just kind of amazing. But and so we were lucky to have this resource in the community, and they have a new exhibition. It'll be up for a while, but they're only open Monday to Friday, and between 8 and noon and 1 and 5. They closed for the lunch hour. So
Small
so
staff.
So if you plan your visit, plan around those hours, but it's well worth planning around those hours because it's an amazing treasure. And I know they've been on this program before, but Million Dollar Quartet at the Old Creamery is going on through July 7th. And that's by all accounts is an amazing show.
Very fun, very fun. And
fun,
and the actors, I saw the previous version, and several of they did it before, and several of the actors are back, and they do inhabit. They totally inhabit the spirits
personalities
of Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Carl Perkins. It's
just a wonderful.
Took my in-laws and my mother-in-law thought she was watching Elvis.
It's great when you as the audience member can be so sucked into the performance, and this is one of those kinds of productions that with the right people, it happens, and it's a great way to beat the heat too. Get inside, and then speed dating tonight. Which has also been on
the Opera Theater.
Yep. Cedar Rapids Opera Theater has already been on this program too, but this is just this weekend. So it's a great opportunity. It's at Bruce Moore. Bring your own chairs, bring your own picnic, come
outside,
early.
But the weather's going to break, so
the weather
it's going to be
will
all
break.
right.
Yeah. Bring bug spray. I always advise that if you're going to go outside. But yeah, it's
because
nice.
the frogs in the pond can only do so much.
Exactly. They're full. Okay, they're already full. But no, I think our bug problem has perhaps dissipated a little bit. But don't be too confident in that. Bring your bug spray just in case.
Now, before we go, Sean, tell me a little bit about what's going on at the Art Museum.
We opened 2 new temporary exhibitions, both themed around watercolor. But I think one of the most exciting things is that we are now in our 8th year of offering free summer. So starting July 1 and running to Labor Day, we have suspended admission fees through the generous underwriting of 4 corporate sponsors. So you can come anytime during the 6 days of the week that we're open and get into the museum for free. And you can come and just see one show, or you could come and see several shows. We have 9 different exhibitions that are up right now, but the 2 very temporary ones deal specifically with watercolor. And without an admission fee, there's really no excuse to not stop by the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art. And
one of those is Tara's, right?
Yes.
Tara Moorman.
Tara Moorman, who was also on your show.
She was on the show a few weeks ago, and that I haven't gotten over to see the exhibit yet, but the pictures of the pictures I have seen, and the stories behind all of them. That's really a don't miss. And she is one of ours right here in Cedar Rapids.
Absolutely, yeah. First solo show of hers at the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art. This wonderful watercolor suite, all based on old family photographs. She really got to know her family in the process of doing this, and it's a story we can all relate to. Because we all have ancestors, and many times we discover photographs, we don't know who the heck that person is, but we know they're somehow related to us. And so she encountered some of that. She discovered some ancestors she didn't know she had. Very interesting stories of being born out of wedlock, and in a time when that was not at all common, and so it's all part of her lineage, all part of her story, her history, what makes her her. And we can all relate to some of the stories that she has laid out for us through her work.
If people need more information about hours or anything at the museum, they can visit your website, which is
crma.org. Yep.
And, of course, for information on the events that you talked about and thousands of others,
I might narrate, culturalcorridor.org. And that's the thing. I mean, if you cannot say there's nothing to do in the corridor. If you go to the ICCA's website, you will see that there's just too much to do for one person. So you get an embarrassment of riches in this community.
Sean Ulmer from the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art and also the Iowa Cultural Corridor Alliance. Thanks for coming in, Sean, and stay cool.
Yes, you too.